You're still there. I feel like this is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and you've watched the end credits, and I've come back because there was something I wanted to add tonight after the crew just did a superlative job, so I salute you guys and gals out there. You only live once, and this life is a test, and this could be my final message. Probably isn't. One chance in a million it is. But we never know when we're going to die. We never know when we're going to be in a car wreck, or when we're going to have a stroke, or when we're going to break our neck, or when we're going to be killed by the globalist, or when we're going to be struck by lightning. And that's why I work so hard, why I do so many uploads in the middle of the night, why I do all these talk radio interviews, and sometimes get so burnt out that, you know, I don't even come off very well. But that isn't even what it's about. It's about standing up, being conscious, and being involved. And earlier in the show, I was asking people to support us, spread the word about the transmission, because we're growing by leaps and bounds, because everything we've talked about, unfortunately, is manifesting. Because we had the globalist handbooks. But most importantly is your prayers. I don't believe in prayer. I depend on it. I don't believe it. I know it. I don't believe in God. I know God. There's a big difference. And that's why I don't have any fear. I don't look forward to what could happen to me or my family, but at the same time, there's no future if we don't turn this around. We're cornered, ladies and gentlemen. And I've used the analogy many times of the old movies where they're in the ship and it's turned over and they got to swim out because the water level's rising and they may not make it, but they don't have a choice. And most people are too scared to go swimming. There's true stories about this, to go swimming through the ship to get out. So they stay and die because they can't get over their fear to go down and try to get out. Or it's the old thing of you're in the temple looking for treasure and the walls start closing in on you. You better find the lever to stop it or you're dead. So instead of just panicking and screaming and it crushing us, like the Star Wars trash compactor scene, we need to get out of this. And we get out of it by admitting we're in a trash compactor, admitting the tyranny's happening and saying no to it and not giving it moral authority and just criticizing it. That's why they want to shut down free speech. Just saying no to it brings it to a halt. We've got to put our bodies against the machinery. So please pray for us. We'll pray for you. And realize this is epic, what's happening. And, it's freaky to know that there's Infowars.com, DrudgeReport.com, Oath Keepers, Ron Paul, Rand Paul to a certain extent. He's trying to play ball a little bit, but doing a lot of great work at the same time. I know he's a good man personally, so I overall trust him in what they're doing, trust but verify. But, I mean, there's not that many people that are going toe-to-toe with the globalist. There's not a lot of people that are really realizing how serious it is, because there's that normalcy bias that I talk so much about, where I've read about people being in a wreck and their arm's cut off and they're bleeding to death and they just can't believe their arm has blood spraying out of it, so they don't tie a tourniquet on it and they end up passing out and dying. And, I in my own life have been hurt pretty bad quite a few times, which was terrible at the time, but actually helped me now, because those experiences make you stronger, that when your finger's chopped off or your legs hacked open, you focus, you get control of yourself. And I just see people that are just panicking when they are confronted with the truth, or not helping somebody when they're choking and everybody's saying call 911. This passiveness, this laziness is ensuring the total takeover. And that's all I'm saying. Those of you that are afraid to fight the evil because you're scared it'll come after you, it's going to come because you won't fight it. And so we're standing up here against the enemy, knowing that there's no future for anybody if we don't do this. We can't give the world over to the worst minds, the most degenerate control freaks, the most psychopathic people out there. We cannot do it. We have a responsibility to just give it our all, and then that's when you're really alive. And so you never know how long you've got, and personally in your life. And we don't know how long we've got till they do a big false flag. A nuke and say North Korea did it, or maybe have North Korea do it. Turned out there's been secret meetings with the Pentagon and North Korea in March. Our government put the Mao in. Our government, as I talked about earlier, put the mullahs in Iran. Oh, you didn't know that? That's declassified. There's a good chance he was raised in Switzerland there's a good chance he's a double or triple agent, Kim Jong-un, and that he may play along with the nuke attack. I mean, we don't know. The point is, though, you can't trust the system, and they will stage crises to get you to go along with it. I mean, they're all over the news going, you know what, we're going to take your pension funds now for the earth and for the children. And you know, so some rich banker in London or Israel or France can have an extra $5 billion. So that's the bottom line. I've studied history. I've studied tyrannies. It's fascinating. I studied it when I was young, as a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old, just because it was very interesting reading. But now I understand, and we're repeating it. And the corruption that's manifesting is the nastiest form of ultra-authoritarian evil that has ever existed. I mean, it's right out of the mind of the devil stuff. I mean, if you don't believe in the devil, that's your issue. This might as well be the devil. The devil's real. Whether you believe it's a spiritual entity or not, humans together are manifesting a spirit that is right out of the worst stuff in the Bible. So that's all I had to say is you never know how long we've got. So if I was you, I would be spreading the word right now like a chicken with your head cut off. And when people, laugh at you or act scared or turn away, it's because deep down they know the truth. And the laughing is a defense mechanism because these people have no respect for themselves. Don't feel bad that people are laughing at you. In the beginning, a patriot's a scarce man, hated and feared and scorned. But in time when his cause succeeds, the timid join him because then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Mark Twain. They know what you're saying is true. You have the courage to speak up and be laughed at. You have the courage to tell the truth. You're not under their mind control. So I salute you. And I salute, again, all our supporters and the crew. I just wanted to ask all of you to pray for us and pray for liberty and pray for all the innocent children, because that's who the globalists really like to target. Most of the millions of the New World Order like to hurt children in one way or another. They love to hurt innocents. It freaks them out to see the goodness of children, to see God in the children. And so every culture wants to chop them up and torture them. I mean, that's what that's radical. Every culture did that. See, you don't know history. Those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. The people perish for lack of knowledge. I will not give my children to the fires of Moloch with the vaccines. I will not give unto the state and follow their edicts. I know who they are. I know the UN in their biological diversity assessment in '96 in the notes talks about bringing back human sacrifice for Gaia. They want the energy of children. Because the creatures out of whatever dimension that's influencing them like that. And if you don't believe in that, that's your issue. Whatever, they're doing it. And they don't act like humans. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I've studied these people. I've studied the globalists, I've studied their minions. Somebody else is looking out those eyes at you. And I don't like these parasites. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this transmission. Lord willing, we'll see you back on the radio tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, Infowars.com, and video streams at PrisonPlanet.tv, and back here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central, Infowars Nightly News.